Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Jill and today I'm going to be doing my October reading wrap-up, so let's get started. I actually read a total of 6 books in the month of October, so I thought that was enough that I could separate my TBR from my wrap-up, which is a huge accomplishment because this month has been crazy for me. So yeah, I'm just going to jump right into the books that I read so that this video is not super long. The first book that I want to talk about is actually one of the reasons that I've been so busy this month, and that is King Lear by William Shakespeare. If you haven't been following this channel long, or if you don't follow me on social media, you probably won't know that I have been working on a production of this play with my extracurricular drama performance, and we actually just opened 2 nights ago, and it was just wonderful, and I just love my castmates so much, and my mom got me this beautiful edition of King Lear for opening night, like as my little present, and I just love these editions of Shakespeare. This is the first of these editions that I have. They're the Pelican Shakespeare edition. I just have normally the Folgers generic ones, but I really want to start collecting all the plays in this format because they're so beautiful and the covers are so symbolic, and yeah, I just love this edition so much, and I've probably read this book a total of like 25 times since putting on this performance. We started in August, so I just thought I'd include it because it is a book that I have read many times, and I just love the story and I love all the characters, and oh my gosh. And if you have read this book, I play Regan, which is an evil sister in this play. And if you don't know, this play is basically about this king who goes insane because he gives his land to 2 of his daughters, and those daughters are not very appreciative of him, and so he goes crazy. Lots of other stuff that goes along with it. I highly recommend this play. It's really super dark, and I just love it so much, and I had such a fun time putting it on. So yeah. The next book I want to talk about was a pleasant surprise, and that was The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. This book comes out on November 1st. This is an advanced reader's copy that I got. Yeah, so basically this book follows this genetically altered superhuman named Nemesis, and she is a Diabolic, and basically what Diabolics do is they are assigned to one specific person, and they protect that person with every fiber of their being. They are made to protect this one single person, and for Nemesis, her person is Sidonia, and she is basically this heir to this galactic state, and there's a bunch of politics, and I just loved it so much. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars. It was such a pleasant surprise. It has politics and love and what it means to be human and finding your inner humanity, and there's betrayal and violence, and oh my gosh, it was just so wonderful. I loved Nemesis as a character. I love Sidonia as a character, and there's also this boy in here that I love so much. His name is Tyrus. He's such a babe. Oh my gosh. So yes, I would highly recommend this book. It's sci-fi. I think I'm beginning to change my thoughts on sci-fi because I used to think, oh, I don't really like sci-fi, but since I've been reading more and more sci-fi, I've sort of been falling in love with it. So yeah, this book is awesome, and it takes place in space, and it's just really awesome and ruthless. I loved it. I loved it so much. Oh, it was such a pleasant surprise as well. So yeah, The Diabolic. The next book I read was a book that I did not enjoy at all, and that is The Call by Piotr O'Guilin. This was my book club book for the month of October for one of the book clubs that I go to, and I despise this book. And I've heard a lot of people say really amazing things about this book, and I don't understand. Basically, this book follows this world, and it's like a really strange world, and I don't think I can properly describe it. But basically what this book is about is that it is centered around this this place that is based on Ireland, and basically the humans were assholes, and they banished these fae people to this colorless world. Like, it's this awful, dreary, colorless world, and the fae got really pissed off at that. And I say fae, but it's actually the I don't know how you say it. It's like spelled like this. It's like the dark evil fae. But they were banished, and then they got pissed off, and so then they basically cursed the island of Ireland to where no one could leave. And also, all the teenagers in this world would be called. And basically what calling means is that when you are taken from the human world into this banished gray fae world, and they basically try to kill you, and you have to run for your life. And it's sort of like time. I'm beginning to understand that in Fey lands, the time is different. So basically in the Fey land, so the dark, dreary place, it's 24 hours you have to survive, but on the actual Earth, it's only 3 minutes. So everyone that's like waiting for you to come back from your call only has to wait 3 minutes while you're in the world for 24 hours. So it sounds like a really cool book. It is creepy. It's a horror book. I know lots of people say it's really creepy. I personally just was not connected to any of the characters. I thought they used very vulgar language in this book that I thought was very unnecessary, and that's one thing that sort of makes me mad in young adult is when authors try to use really vulgar, unnecessary language to try to relate to teenagers. It just makes me angry, and this had a lot of that. And I just didn't think it was, I mean, it was gruesome, but I guess it was just so strange that I couldn't really picture the gruesome things that it was describing. So I honestly didn't think it was scary or anything like that. I just was not connected to it. And I know that lots of people like it. I know they read this 4-book explosion, and I know Kat, Christine, and Jesse really loved it. And I don't know, I just did not enjoy it. I wasn't connecting with any of these people, and I don't even remember what the main character's name is. I don't remember anyone. It was very forgettable for me. So yeah, I think I gave it 2 stars. I probably should bump it down to 1.5-ish because it just wasn't working for me. But I guess I know that it's worked for other people, so maybe give it a shot if the synopsis intrigues you. Next up is a book that I meant to do a whole long review discussion on because I love it with all my heart, and that is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I'm going to link my Goodreads review of this book down below because I spent an hour and a half writing a huge long Goodreads review for it. It's not like hugely long, but it's the longest one I've written on Goodreads. And if you don't know, this is the conclusion and second book to the Six of Crows duology, and it was just everything I ever could have wanted. This is in the running for my top 3 favorite books that I've read this year. I love it so much. I love all these characters, and I want to go into this huge long discussion about it, but obviously spoilers and stuff, so I'm not really going to get into it, and I'm not going to really give a summary because again, this is the second book in a series. But go read my Goodreads review if you've read this book and if you want to hear my thoughts. My review on Goodreads is spoiler free, and I give way more of my thoughts down there. But oh gosh, I love it so much. I just love heist novels so much, and Leigh Bardugo is an absolute genius at creating heist novels, and words can't properly describe how much I love this book. So go check out my Goodreads review if you want more specifics, because if I start talking about this, I won't be able to stop. So I'm just gonna cut this off now and say 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely fantastic. If you haven't started Six of Crows yet, I beg you, please, to start Six of Crows. I love this book actually more than Six of Crows, which I know is an unpopular opinion, but I love this so much more than Six of Crows, and I love Six of Crows already, so you can imagine. But yeah, I'm just gonna stop now before I get all carried away in my fangirling love for this book, but it was fantastic. Definitely go read it if you haven't yet. It's so good. Next up, I ended up completing A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess, and this book is not the most original thing I've read in my entire life. I think I ended up giving it 3.75 out of 5 stars or 4 out of 5 stars. I don't quite remember. But this book follows a girl named Henrietta Howell, and it is set in Victorian London. And she can control flame, so she can like control the element of fire. And someone comes and finds her like using this power, and they think that she is the chosen one for this prophecy that's going to save them all, and she's like the prophesized one. And it turns out that might not be true. And she basically has to go through this journey of maybe being the prophesized one and coming to terms with that, and then maybe not, and then maybe she actually is. So like I said at the beginning, this is not the most original story. It sort of reminded me of Red Queen, to where it's kind of a mashup of a bunch of YA tropes. There is a love triangle, there is the chosen one trope, there is the girl who has powers but doesn't want to come to terms with her powers, there's the generic sort of power of controlling the elements in this book. but I did still enjoy it. It was a fun time. I sort of flew through it. I was really invested in what was happening. I really loved Henrietta as a character. I was sort of confused on the love triangle that was happening. I didn't really agree with it because there's sort of like 3 guys that are there, and then like one's not in the love triangle but the 2 others are, but I sort of thought that the one that wasn't in the love triangle should have been in the love triangle. I would have liked this story better if he was, but whatever. I really loved Henrietta, and I will be probably reading the next book in this series just because I am intrigued about where this story is going to go. I think that Jessica Cluess has opened up a world that could be expanded into such, like, it could be very well done. The first book obviously is not going to be the most amazing because of the world building and everything, but I feel like the next books might be better just because the world has such potential, and I'm really excited to see where she goes with this, and hopefully it will become more of its own story as time goes on. And the last book I read, you guys are going to be so proud. I finally read Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Well, I reread Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I have already read this book, but in order to read Air, Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire Storms, I had to reread the first 2 in this series because I read them a year ago and I didn't remember anything that was happening. But I finally reread it and I loved it so much. I think I loved it more this time actually going around, which was the opposite for Throne of Glass. I didn't love Throne of Glass as much as I did the first time I read it when I reread it, but this book is just so amazing, and I love Kale, and I know I'm already spoiled on what happens and how, like, he's, you know, not in the picture anymore, but I still love him in this book and I think he's a sweetheart, and don't yell at me for that. I haven't read any of the other books, so don't spoil anything, even though I'm probably already spoiled. I just love this book so much, and I think the world is expanding, and I actually started Air of Fire today, and I'm already like 75 pages in, and I'm dying, and I can't breathe, and oh my god. Yeah, so I'm so excited. I'm finally continuing on with the series, and hopefully I'll be catched up so people will stop yelling at me to read this series, because I swear so many people want me to be caught up on it, and I want to be caught up on it too, and I'm finally doing that, and I'm so excited. So obviously 5 out of 5 stars. Amazing second book. Huge improvement on the first book. I just love this series so much. So there you have it. Those are the 6 books that I read in the month of October. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did, and subscribe if you're not already, and comment down below what your favorite book that you read this month was. And also I will have all of my social media linked down below. I have Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, so if you want to follow me on those, they will be linked down below. So thanks again so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later in another video. Bye!